Well, it's the last morning of the Realisation Festival here in St Giles in Dorset in the south of England. Lovely group of people. Provocative and challenging topics. It was really all about how to make differences between us a positive thing. And you can't really get to the goody stuff at the other end without going through the tunnel, so to speak, of highlighting what those differences are. So racism, sexism, and classism or elitism, which is a bit rich coming from a stately home. The Earl of Shaftesbury's pile, of course, it's not lost on the participants here, indeed the organisers. The contradictions, we cannot escape our cultural past, but we can choose our response. I guess, I hope you can choose your response. It's deeply embedded, certainly in English culture, the class system. I've just picked up a book in the library, which was The Life and Works of William Blake by Alexander Gilchrist. No, McGilchrist, which strangely, happily, is also the name of the main speaker here this weekend, Ian McGilchrist. I don't know if they're related. I guess they must be somewhere along the line. 1888. And I just happened to read a brief section where it talked about his early loves. And oh gosh, the language is his first love of his life was a girl from the lower orders. You know, that sounds so quaint and old English, but I think we know it still exists. I know a man who still refers to the lower orders. So embedded is the English public school and class system. Anyway, this is not a tirade against a system that I'm sure I belong to. I know my place as the Two Ronnies. Is it a Two Ronnies sketch with John Cleese? John Cleese in the bowler hat. I look down on him. Ronnie Barker. I look up to him and down on him. Ronnie Corbett. I look up to him. The English class structure. The difference is, over breakfast, I was asked what would my superpower be, and after a moment I came up with being non-judgmental. If I could be non-judgmental, well, that's not working, is it? my superpower eludes me straight after my coconut yogurt. Hopeless. I suppose we all carry our prejudices around like furniture on a leash. Difficult to shake off, perhaps. I was also asked over breakfast what my takeaway was. What's my Deliveroo? And I have to be careful not to miss the path back through the lake, otherwise I end up walking through a field and clogging up my shoes with newly mown hay, as I did yesterday morning. But I I need to I need to pay attention to my intention of not getting lost on the way back, which I think I'm already lost. Oh dear. Because that's taking me away from if lost, retrace steps. Oh dear. Yes, what is my takeaway from this weekend realization festival? And what I came up with was the word affirmation or affirming. I found it a very affirming place to be. I beaver away in the cocoon that is my tiny house, working on videos and from time to time actually writing some of my book in progress. But really quite not seeing like-minded people really from day to day, week to week almost. So it's very affirming for me to come and join with kindred spirits, albeit for a weekend, and realise that I'm not barking up the wrong tree. Or indeed, after a lunchtime chat with Ian McGilchrist, I would modestly, hopefully, say I'm barking up the right tree in my consideration of the basis of consciousness. Ian has been writing about this for 10 years or more, and I'm really the apprentice. I've only been working on it for 2 years. But between you and me, no idea. Both of us, I have to say, there's a hair just popped out ahead of us. Both of us, still no idea, really, what consciousness is. We experience the effects of, or I might say, our participation in consciousness. And Ian and I certainly agree on one thing, which is that it precedes, shall we say, both matter and mental stuff. So this undefinable, unclassifiable, what British philosopher Bertrand Russell, in his 2-volume books on matter and mind, this background to everything that is, both material and mental, he calls it neutral stuff. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday, but that's okay. So the great minds of our age haven't a clue. Neutral stuff, eh? You didn't know you were the progeny, the outcome of neutral stuff. Well, to me, I think, as you know by now, I find this neutral stuff far from neutral. I find it definitely benign. I'm going to go down in the direction of the lake now, because otherwise I'm going to end up going through the mown hayfield. And far from being neutral, I find this background behind both mental stuff and material stuff benign. What I like to call, as I say, the ground of being. And I've touched on a previous short video my acronym for being benign, experiential, integrated, numinous, no, I don't know what it means either, and grounded. Well, I'm certainly grounded. Walking by the other side of the lake, not knowing how I'm going to get across. I suppose life's like that. There must be a bridge at some point which I'm missing. In a way, my Bennett is coming out in me again. In a way, life's like that, isn't it? Always looking for the bridge across. And in a very direct way, this is the issue of consciousness. What is the bridge across from the material brain, which Anil Seth, the neuroscientist, calls electrified pate, the bridge across from that to this sense of expansiveness and delight in nature and the lake behind me, with no bridge across at this point. I can see the house in the distance, can't see how to get to it from here, but that's where I'm at with my book. I can intuit consciousness in the distance, but I haven't quite found the bridge across yet. Isn't life a bit like that? Catch you later.